Hello and welcome to this Stockbox interview with the CEO of Power Metal Resources, Paul Johnson. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Mark.
So, what's going on today then? It's a pretty dire day in the markets, and here we are, Power Metal Resources announcing some news. Are you mad?
Yeah, sometimes you do wish you had more control over these things, but no. It's funny you mentioned this because today we've announced that we've done a strategic joint venture with Kavango Resources, and we're effectively going back into the Kalahari Copper Belt as part of that joint venture,
Mm-hmm.
which is something I did previously with Metal Tiger when we found that major copper deposit with MOD Resources back in 2016. But in 2015, when I announced the original acquisition, or when Metal Tiger announced the original acquisition deal, the market went down like a damp squib, in terms of excitement. There was almost nothing going on. And I think I got a few phone calls from people asking me why I was investing in the desert and was I mad? So it's like a repeat of history.
So, short answer is yes, you are mad.
I think so. Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. But you can't pick and choose your moments. It's a great announcement for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a poor day in the markets. As I sit here, the FTSE's down 3.4%. The screen's littered with red across the juniors. I don't really care that much. We're about building a business, building our portfolio, building it with some great transactions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another one we've announced today.
And of course, Botswana is close to your heart, as you mentioned with Metal Tiger, and of course, Power Metal Resources have already got a project in Botswana, namely the Malopo Farms complex. So, what's the plan for this new joint venture? Some of the licenses look like they're fairly close to the ones that Metal Tiger originally had.
Well, it's basically there's two elements to it. One, there are four prospecting licenses that we will be effectively acquiring 50% of. Those four licenses will be put into a new holding company that we will have that 50% share in, with Kavango Resources holding the other 50%. Now, two of the licenses are in the Ditau area, which Kavango have previously drilled, and it's a rare earth focused project. And then two of the licenses are in the heart of the Kalahari Copper Belt, just southwest of the big T3 discovery that we made with Metal Tiger MOD, and it's pretty much surrounded by lots of other license holders, including Sandfire. So right in the heart of the Kalahari Copper Belt. The plan is to move them forward with active exploration ASAP. So we're not hanging around. Power Metal Resources already have some copper interest in a number of projects, but mainly the Kasinka projects in the DRC is the focus for most investors in terms of our business. But so now we'll have another one in the heart of the KCB in Botswana. Great place to do business, safe, secure jurisdiction, really good for explorers, really supportive and helpful. And it's just fantastic to be back in that part of the world.
Great. And what stage are they at now, Paul? I mean, are you going in blind?
Not really blind, because there's been so much data that's been built up over recent times in the Kalahari Copper Belt. So there's our partners, Kavango Resources, before they applied for these licenses, they went through a detailed data review, examined all the evidence that was available before they actually pegged this ground, as it were. So we're pretty confident we go. It's not a standing start. They were jogging along, as it were, and now we can help accelerate that process. We will be funding the first $75,000 of exploration expenditure in year one, the next 12 months, and year two, the following 12 months. So we can accelerate that expenditure profile if we want. We can spend more money in year one and really get this thing running as fast as possible. The ultimate end game is to take this package and list it on a main stock exchange in either Canada or in the United Kingdom. So we're pushing for exploration, get some findings out quickly, build the knowledge about the project licenses, and then put the licenses into a corporate wrapper that's suitable for listing.
Okay, and on that listing, Canadian or UK stock exchange, which do you prefer?
They both have their merits, and they both have different kind of advantages and disadvantages as well. So it really, it depends on the environment. We have a few ideas for both Canadian and UK stock exchanges. Our immediate focus will be launch of exploration. As soon as that exploration is running, we will turn to a slightly more corporate focus on structuring of the business and making sure everything's ready. And we will make that decision. One thing we are going to do is make sure that the market is kept fully informed with both the exploration and the corporate side to the developments going forward.
Okay. Now, there are a lot of projects in Power's portfolio. Is there any danger of becoming overstretched, do you think?
Definitely, because that's what my business as a junior exploration company should be, is it should be in the status of managed overstretch. If we sat there with spare capacity, we're not doing things with our money, we're not making progress on the ground, we're not testing multiple projects, then what are we here for? We're not a bank. It's not the Power Metal Resources Bank. We're here to do exploration, we're here to do work, and we're here to put findings out. Now, I'm quite keen to make sure that we balance the proactive exploration and the money we're spending in projects with also building the balance sheet. So for some of our projects, and in the case of this strategic joint venture, this is one of them, we're looking at a pretty rapid route to a crystallization of value on a main stock exchange, because that builds our balance sheet, builds our working capital, and enables us to push ahead with exploration programs across our business and build the company. So overstretch risk is always there. You'll see with this transaction, we hope, and with other assets within the portfolio and potentially future assets, there will be a drive to crystallize the value quickly into some form of listed equity or cash, so that we can build the balance sheet, manage that risk effectively, and keep growing the business.
Okay, perfect. And finally, Paul, we're hearing a lot about perhaps a second wave of coronavirus, perhaps even a mini second lockdown. Do you think that'll affect power metal operations globally? And also, how do you feel that would affect the general outlook for junior miners and commodities? Okay,
from our perspective in terms of UK markets today, that's a poignant question, because FTSE is even more down now, 3.5% down. There's a lot of concerns, there's wobbles in the UK market. We remember what happened in March and when the valuations fell through the floor. I suspect that's not going to happen again, but naturally there are concerns around. The question as to whether it will affect our operations in the field is more poignant, because you don't know in any individual country what's going to happen with spread of the virus, its impact, the steps taken by the local regulatory authorities and government, and so on. And it's my job to manage the business through all of that turmoil, whatever happens. And we've seen that turmoil across many countries where we operate, and we've seen how they react. And generally speaking, I have to say there is a desire to keep the mining and exploration activities running within local regulations, guidelines, laws, and so on. And you've seen a lot of activity happen across our portfolio on the ground during the last 6 months. And you've seen it because we've RNS'd it. We've told the market about what we're doing. So we will carry on with that approach. We take everything seriously with regard to this virus and its impact. And we plan for flexibility within our programs so that we can adjust things if we have to. And sometimes it has to be done at the last minute. Things are pushing forward very proactively across our business with lots of operational activity, lots of exploration. And of course, there are a number of planned drill programs coming up. So we expect to be active. We're prepared in case we have to flex and be adjustable. But I'm just driven to push our projects as fast as we can, in line with local laws and regulations, to get the news out to our investors that demonstrate that what we've been building in the last 18 months is a substantial, valuable, diverse, and strategic portfolio of metal assets across the globe. Because then, if I do that, I think we'll see our valuation adjust from where it is now to something of more material substance that reflects the underlying value of the business.
Okay, well, Paul Johnson, the CEO of Power Metal Resources, thank you very much for talking to me.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you for listening to this Stockbox interview. For more information, interviews and videos, visit our website at stockboxmedia.com or give us a follow on Twitter by searching @StockboxMedia.